There's a reason why some people seem to effortlessly attract what they want, while others struggle with the same dreams year after year. Maybe you've set goals over and over and felt stuck. This is why. The secret isn't luck or talent, it's understanding how your thoughts shape the world around you. These laws have been hidden in plain sight for thousands of years, passed down through mystery schools. Later, you'll see how a 19th century physics experiment confirmed exactly what these ancients taught. Today, you're going to discover each one and learn how to apply them immediately. Get ready to see your world and your power within it in a completely new way. What you're about to learn will challenge everything you think you know about what's real. Let me show you exactly how this works. Right now, reach out and touch something solid near you. Feel how firm it is. Here's what will change everything. That solid object is actually atoms that are mostly empty space, with tiny particles buzzing around at incredible speeds. What you experience as solid is really just energy vibrating at specific frequencies, creating the illusion of matter. This brings us to the first Hermetic principle that ancient mystics discovered thousands of years ago. They called it all is mind, meaning the entire universe is essentially a mental construct. Everything you see, touch, and experience exists first as thought energy before it becomes a physical reality. Your brain isn't just processing information about the world around you. It's participating in creating that world through the act of observation and consciousness. Modern quantum physics is now proving what these ancient wisdom keepers always knew. Scientists have discovered that consciousness doesn't just observe reality, it actively shapes it at the most fundamental level, as seen in the famous double-slit experiment in early quantum physics. When we look deeply into the building blocks of existence, we find that the observer and the observed are connected in ways that challenge entirely our everyday understanding of how things work. This experiment demonstrates something extraordinary. When scientists shoot particles through two slits, if nobody is watching, the particles behave like waves and go through both slits at once. So what happens when we watch it? The moment someone observes which slit the particle goes through, it suddenly behaves like a solid particle and chooses just one path. The very act of conscious observation changes the behavior of matter itself. This means your thoughts are creating your reality through what ancient traditions called the universal mind. Your mind connects to the universal mind described in the Kybalion. Every thought you think sends ripples through this mental universe, attracting experiences that match your mental patterns and beliefs. Most people feel disconnected from their creative power because they don't understand the difference between their mind and the universal mind. Modern life fragments our mental energy with constant distractions. Social media, news, and endless notifications scatter our attention in 1,000 directions. This mental chaos weakens our ability to focus the concentrated thought power needed to shape reality according to our true desires. You can train your mind like a laser beam through daily meditation and focused intention. Spend 10 minutes each morning visualizing exactly what you want to create. Feel the emotions of already having it. As Hermetic masters taught, your subconscious is like fertile soil. Daily affirmations plant new seeds that grow into real-world changes. When you truly understand that everything is mind, you realize you're not a victim of circumstances, but a conscious co-creator of your own experience. But there's something even deeper happening here that reveals the true structure of reality itself. This deeper structure reveals what ancient Hermetic masters called the Principle of Correspondence. They wrote, "As above, so below," showing that reality operates like a giant mirror, reflecting patterns at every level of existence. This isn't just mystical poetry, it's describing how the universe works. Scientists now call this fractal geometry, the way identical patterns show up at different scales throughout nature. Fractal shapes appear in tree branches, lightning bolts, and the branching of our lungs, proof of as above, so below. Your fingerprint has the same spiral patterns as hurricanes and galaxies. The same designs repeat everywhere you look. This reveals something profound about your personal reality. Your external world perfectly reflects your internal state. Everything you experience outside yourself is showing you what's happening inside your mind and heart. The people who show up in your life mirror your own thoughts and emotions back to you. Jesus said, The kingdom of God is within you. Luke 17:21. He wasn't talking about some distant heaven. He was pointing to the truth that everything you're seeking in the outside world already exists within your consciousness. The love you want from others starts with loving yourself. The abundance you desire reflects your inner sense of worthiness and possibility. Your thoughts create an emotional frequency that attracts matching experiences into your life. When you think fearful thoughts, you notice more things to be afraid of. When you focus on what you're grateful for, more reasons for gratitude appear. This isn't a coincidence. It's the law of correspondence working through your consciousness. Changing your inner world automatically transforms your outer world. A person who heals their relationship with money starts attracting better financial opportunities. Someone who develops genuine self-love begins meeting people who treat them with respect and care. Carl Jung described a collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of archetypes that echo the Hermetic microcosm-macrocosm concept. When you tap into this collective wisdom through inner work, you access insights and guidance that seem to come from beyond your individual mind. But what if I told you there's a simple daily ritual to flip this mirror? Spend time each morning identifying any negative emotions or limiting beliefs you're carrying. Then consciously choose thoughts and feelings that align with what you want to experience. Journal about your inner patterns and how they show up in your external circumstances. Notice how your relationships reflect your relationship with yourself. Observe how your financial situation mirrors your inner beliefs about money and worth. Pay attention to the emotions you feel most often and how they connect to the experiences you attract. When you heal and transform what's inside you, you literally change the world around you through this fundamental law. But there's something even more essential at work here that explains exactly how this transformation happens. That transformation happens through what ancient masters called the law of vibration, the principle that nothing in the universe is solid. Everything you see and touch is energy vibrating at different frequencies. When quantum research first looked deep into atoms, it found something amazing. At subatomic scales, particles behave like waves, pure energy fields, not solid bits. This energy is a force that shapes matter, and it's constantly vibrating. Ancient cultures understood this truth thousands of years before modern science. In the Vedic texts, Om is called the primordial sound. Heraclitus said, "Everything flows," both anticipating the Hermetic vibration principle. This original creative force flows through the entire cosmos. The ancient Egyptians and Greeks also knew that understanding vibration was key to achieving harmony and wisdom. Your thoughts and emotions have specific vibrational frequencies that attract matching experiences into your life. When you think fearful thoughts, you vibrate at a lower frequency and draw more fearful situations. When you feel grateful and loving, you vibrate higher and attract more positive experiences. This isn't just theory, it's how the universe works at the deepest level. Einstein's E equals mc squared shows matter is energy, just vibrating at a slower rate. This proves what ancient wisdom keepers always knew. Everything is a vibrational expression of one fundamental essence. The differences between different forms of matter, energy, mind, and spirit come from varying rates of vibration. Atoms are spinning vortexes of energy that make waves, and these ripples go out into space like nanotornadoes, creating reality itself. Different emotions vibrate at different frequencies. Fear, anger, and sadness create lower vibrations. Love, joy, and gratitude create higher vibrations. You can consciously raise your vibration by choosing thoughts and feelings that align with what you want to experience. This isn't positive thinking. It's understanding how energy works. Everything from radio waves to light to your thoughts operates on the same vibrational principles. Your radio picks up specific stations because it tunes into matching frequencies. Your life works the same way. You attract experiences that match your dominant vibration. You can sense vibration shifts by noting your gut response. Think of it as a built-in frequency meter. You can raise your vibration through meditation, gratitude practices, and spending time in nature. Listen to music that makes you feel good. Surround yourself with people who inspire you. Exercise regularly to move stagnant energy. Understanding vibration allows you to tune into the frequency of what you want to manifest. Like adjusting a radio dial, you can consciously align your thoughts and emotions with your desired outcomes. When you master your vibration, you become a conscious creator who can attract anything by matching its energetic frequency. But here's where it gets really interesting. What you think are completely separate vibrations might actually be more connected than you realize. The connection runs deeper than you might imagine. Think about hot and cold for a moment. You might say they're opposites, but here's the truth that changes everything. They're different degrees of the same thing called temperature. Like a sine wave crossing its midpoint, hot and cold are one continuum. So too with every polarity. There's no absolute point where hot becomes cold. It's all one continuous scale. This reveals something mysterious about how reality works. Love and hate aren't opposites either. They're both intense emotions on the same spectrum of feeling. The person you love most deeply could also hurt you most profoundly. Both emotions require the same passionate energy. What we call opposite is just different points on the same scale of experience. Everything you think is the opposite works this way. Light and darkness are different degrees of the same phenomenon. Rich and poor are different points on the abundance scale. This understanding gives you incredible power because it means you can transform any negative state into its positive counterpart by moving along the spectrum. Look at the atoms that make up everything around you. The polarity between positive protons and negative electrons holds them together. This dance of opposite charges creates the structure of all matter. Without both poles, nothing could exist. The attractive force between these opposites is what builds everything from the oxygen you breathe to the stars in space. Electromagnetic waves that power all our technology work through the same principle. An electromagnetic wave pairs oscillating electric poles with magnetic poles, a textbook Hermetic Polarity in action. Your radio, television, and internet all depend on this interaction between opposite fields that allows energy to travel, transmitting signals through light, heat, and data. Your emotions naturally shift between opposite poles throughout your day. You might feel excited in the morning and tired by evening. This emotional oscillation follows the same universal pattern. The key is finding balance at the center rather than getting stuck at either extreme. You can transmute fear into love by recognizing they're both intense energies on the same spectrum. Scarcity becomes abundance when you understand they're different degrees of the same resource consciousness. Weakness transforms into strength when you realize they're both expressions of your personal power at different levels. Alchemists taught the ultimate transmutation is moving fear into love, shifting along the same energy spectrum. When you grasp this principle, you can consciously move from any unwanted state to its opposite by working with the natural flow of polar energy. But there's something even more predictable about how these energy shifts happen. These energy shifts follow patterns you can predict. Everything in the universe follows predictable cycles. Your heartbeat pumps in a steady rhythm. The seasons change in the same order every year. Civilizations rise and fall in patterns that repeat throughout history. Even your daily energy levels follow natural cycles of activity and rest. This isn't random. It's the law of rhythm working through every aspect of existence. Ancient cultures understood these rhythms deeply. Hermetic texts likened cosmic rhythm to the breath of the universe, expansion and contraction of worlds, just as the sun's daily cycle governs Earth. They tracked the movements of stars and planets to predict when to plant crops, when to prepare for challenges, and when opportunities would appear. The moon's phases affect tides, fertility, and even human behavior in measurable ways. Your life experiences follow the same rhythmic patterns as ocean tides and planetary movements. Think about your relationships. They have periods of closeness and distance. Your career has times of growth and times of consolidation. Your creativity flows in waves of inspiration, followed by quiet periods of integration. These aren't problems to solve. They're natural rhythms to understand and work with. Understanding rhythm means you can predict when challenges will end and opportunities will arise. When you're going through a difficult time, you know it won't last forever. The pendulum of life always swings back toward balance. This knowledge gives you hope during tough periods and keeps you grounded during good times. Masters don't fight the rhythm. They learn to ride it like surfers riding waves. They understand that trying to maintain a constant state is like trying to stop the flow of a river. Instead, they find balance at the center of the pendulum swing, where peace resides. They work with their natural energy cycles instead of against them. Everything from business cycles to relationship patterns follows the same universal rhythm. Stock markets rise and fall in predictable waves. Even your body's cells replace themselves in regular cycles. Recognizing these patterns helps you make better decisions about when to act and when to rest. You can use rhythm to your advantage by timing your actions with natural cycles. Start new projects when your energy is rising. Rest and reflect when your energy is naturally low. Track your own monthly mood and energy chart. Notice the rise and fall. Then plan creative tasks for your high phase and rest during the low. This turns rhythm into a tool. The pendulum swing of life ensures that after every low point, there must be a high point. This is the law of compensation working through rhythm. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left, as the Kybalion states. Max Planck said, "I consider consciousness to be fundamental. Matter is derived from consciousness." This echoes that rhythm isn't just physical, but mental too. When you align with rhythm instead of fighting it, you flow with the universe's natural power. But here's what most people miss about these patterns. They're not just happening to you randomly. Every pattern follows an invisible chain of causes and effects that you can learn to control. The Kybalion states, there is no such thing as chance. Everything happens by law. Every joy, every challenge, every opportunity that shows up in your life is the result of causes you set in motion through your thoughts, actions, and choices. Most people live as effects, constantly reacting to circumstances instead of creating them. They feel like victims of their situation, wondering why certain things keep happening to them. Just as a tossed die always lands according to initial force, our thoughts set unseen forces in motion. No random outcomes. This keeps them powerless because they don't understand they're actually creating their own experiences. Behind every physical effect you experience, there are invisible mental causes. That persistent, fearful thought you keep thinking can manifest as physical tension or illness in your body. Your thoughts of love and gratitude can promote well-being and attract positive experiences. The mental plane is where everything begins before it becomes physical reality. Understanding causation means you can trace any problem back to its root cause and change it. If you're struggling with money, you can look at your thoughts and beliefs about abundance. If your relationships keep failing, you can examine the mental patterns you bring to each connection. This awareness gives you the power to create different outcomes. Karma means action in Sanskrit, but functions across lifetimes, returning outcomes to teach lessons. It's not punishment or reward. It's a learning system designed to guide your soul toward harmony and understanding of universal laws. Every experience offers you opportunities to recognize mistakes and align your life with higher principles. As the Kybalion teaches, mental causes precede physical effects. True magicians work first on the mental plane. They understand that thoughts and intentions are the first causes that create life experiences. Instead of waiting for circumstances to change, they consciously direct their mental energy towards specific goals and watch those intentions manifest in their physical world. Your thoughts and intentions are the first causes that create your life experiences. When you focus on what you want instead of what you don't want, you're creating positive causes. When you cultivate beliefs that support your goals, you're setting up the conditions for success to appear in your life. You can break negative cause and effect chains by changing your mental patterns. This requires taking full responsibility for your life and understanding that past actions and thoughts have contributed to current circumstances. By shifting how you react to situations and choosing to respond differently, you can transcend negative cycles. Becoming conscious of this law transforms you from victim to creator. You realize you're not at the mercy of random events. You're actively participating in shaping your reality through every thought, emotion, and action you choose. When you master cause and effect, you become the conscious architect of your destiny, deliberately creating the causes that will generate the life you truly want. But there's one final principle that reveals the ultimate secret of creation itself. This ultimate secret lies in understanding that everything in the universe contains both masculine and feminine energy, including you. This isn't about your biological gender or what society expects from men and women. These are two fundamental creative forces that exist in every atom, every plant, every animal, and every human being on Earth. As the Kybalion states, gender manifests on all planes: physical, mental, spiritual. This principle goes far beyond physical differences between males and females. These are archetypal forces that operate on mental and spiritual planes, influencing how you think, feel, and create your reality. Most people don't understand this, which is why they struggle to manifest what they want in life. Most people are severely imbalanced in these energies, blocking their creative power completely. Hermetis warned that excess masculine turns to authoritarianism, while excess feminine floods you in emotions. Both block growth. They either push too hard with masculine force or wait passively with feminine receptivity. This imbalance creates inner conflict and prevents you from accessing your full potential as a conscious creator. Masculine energy is the active, projecting force that moves things forward. Carl Jung called the warrior archetype our inner masculine drive. It embodies logic, direction, and creative drive. This is the energy that takes action, overcomes obstacles, and transforms potential into reality. When balanced, masculine energy provides courage, clarity, and purpose. It builds, protects, leads, and inspires action in your life. Feminine energy is the receptive, nurturing force that creates space for things to grow. Jung's mother archetype embodies our nurturing feminine side. It connects you to feelings, intuition, and creativity. This energy embraces, transforms, and gives meaning to action. It fosters inner listening, compassion, and the ability to create from nothing. Feminine energy helps you understand without words and feel beyond reason. Creation only happens when these two forces unite, like a seed needing both soil and sunlight. The seed represents masculine potential, while the soil represents feminine receptivity. Without both elements working together, nothing can grow or manifest in your physical reality. Your mind has both masculine logic and feminine intuition, and you need both to succeed. Your logical mind can plan and organize, while your intuitive mind can sense opportunities and creative solutions. When these work together, you become incredibly powerful at manifesting your desires. You can integrate both aspects through practical techniques. Try dance and body movement to balance these energies physically. Take time for introspection before acting on your goals. Alchemists spoke of the inner marriage, uniting these energies as a spiritual practice, not just a metaphor. Trust your intuition for creative solutions while using logic to organize your plans. Right now, notice one task you can approach more intuitively and one you can organize more logically. Try both today. When you achieve an inner balance between masculine and feminine energies, you become a complete creator who can manifest anything you desire. But understanding this final principle is just the beginning of your real power. These 7 principles work together as a master key that unlocks your power to shape reality. When you understand that everything is mind, you can consciously direct your thoughts. When you see reality as a mirror, you transform from within. When you master vibration, you attract what you want. When you balance polarities, you find peace in any situation. When you flow with rhythm, you work with universal forces. When you consciously create causes, you design your destiny. When you unite masculine and feminine energies, you become complete. Ancient wisdom and modern science are finally confirming what mystics have long known. Start shaping your reality starting now. Remember, mind creates matter, your world mirrors your soul, everything vibrates, opposites merge, rhythms guide you, causes shape your destiny, and both masculine and feminine powers unite within. If this resonates, comment below which principle you'll apply first, and subscribe to join our journey of inner transformation. You hold the master key. Now step through the next door of your creation.